Okay, so let's do some mathematics of finance today, and specifically here we'll be looking at how to compound for the future. So this video under mathematics of finance is just compounding for the future, and we'll be looking at some of the terms like compounding. What does it mean when someone tells you to say I'm compounding an interest? And we'll be looking at the terms in the formula so that we understand, and we just look at a very short example so that we know what compounding is all about. Okay, so let's look at this term compound. When they say compound, what do they mean? When they tell you that we are compounding, they're telling you to say what is that value in the future. Okay, what is this investment that you're making today? How much is it worth in the future? That's what it means by compounding. So automatically, when we are compounding something, we are going to have some present value denoted by P0. This is my present value, because we are saying we want to know this present value, how much it is worth in the future. So I need to have this present value. Then automatically I'm going to have my R, which is my rate, because I want to know how much, if I put in this money, how much is it going to give me in the future. Then also I need to have my M. This can be the number of times you're compounding. For example, if we are compounding annually, then we just have 1. If we are compounding semi-annually, then we are saying 2. If we are compounding monthly, then we are saying 12 times. So how much am I going to get if this interest grows per month? How much am I going to get after some time? Okay, then we also have another term, N. N has, when we are compounding for the future, N is a number of conversion periods. So in this N, we'll have two things. We'll have the same M that we just talked about, and we'll have T, which is the number of years. So we can say N is equal to M times T. Why M times T? We are saying M, the number of times we are compounding. So then T, we are saying the time that we're expected, or the time that is expected from this compound interest. So if, for example, we are saying we're going to be compounding this interest monthly, then we're saying 12 times. Then for the next 5 years, then we're going to say 5 times. Okay, so out of these understandings, let us just derive the formula for compounding interest. So compounding interest formula is PT is equal to P0 open 1 plus R over M to the power N, where PT, it is the value that you're going to get in the future. Then P0, this is the present value. And R, M, and N, we've already talked about them. So N is just a mixture of M and T. This is what you have to know under compounding interest. So for example, they tell us to say, okay, our present value is 5,000, and they tell us to say, okay, the rate will be only 5%. Then apart from that, we also have the number of years that we are expecting to invest into this business is 5 years. Then we'll be compounding this semi-annually. So semi-annually. Then if it's semi-annually, we're going to derive our formula, which is PT is equal to P0 1 plus R over M to the power N. So our PT, we want to find our future value if we invest 5,000 in this business. 1 plus, what is our R? Our R is 5%, so 0.05 over, what is our M? Our M is a semi-annual, so 2. Then we have N. We said N is a mix of M and T. So if we are saying N is the mix of M and T, when we multiply 2, since we said semi-annual, times the number of years, which is 10. So we're going to put a 10 there. Okay, so we're going to put a 10 there. So our PT, however, is 5,000. So how to calculate this is firstly divide these two into 0.05. So 0.05 divided by 2, it's going to give us, so just bring everything, 0.025, keep the 10 there. After that, we still have our PT is equal to 5,000, 1 plus 0.025 to the power 10, okay, sorry for the space, to the power 10. PT is equal to 5,000. So just add the 1 there, then just do it step by step. Don't rush it. To the power 10. Then PT, now this 5,000 keeps on coming. This value there to the power 10, what do you get? You find out that you are going to have something like 1.28008. I'll leave it to 5 decimal places, but you can keep the full value so that you get an accurate answer. Then just multiply by 5,000. Then your future value is going to be 6,400.42. So what does this mean? This means that when you put 5,000 into this business, that compounds the interest semi-annually, which is 2 times in a year, for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, you're going to have 6,400.42 kwacha. Okay, so what if they tell us something very interesting? Instead of semi-annually, they tell us to say, okay, let's compound this quarterly. Okay, they tell us let's compound this quarterly. So they're saying quarter. We know that a quarter is just 1/4. Okay, so which is just 4, right? So 4. So we still have our formula. PT is equal to P0 1 plus R over M to the power N. Now we have our future value, 5,000, 1 plus, what is the R? 0.05, quarter, 4. Now we can say, because it's saying N is equal to M times T, so N is equal to 4 times number of years, 5. So now it's 20. So let me just shrub that. So our N is now 20. So 20 there. So PT is 5,000. Remember, do it step by step so that you don't mix up. So now you have 1 plus 0.0125 to the power 20. Then next, PT is equal to 5,000. The 5,000 is still constant. So when you add those two, you're going to have 1.0125 to the power 20. What do you have? 5,000. So that to the power 20, you're going to have 1.28. So I'm going to approximate it and leave it to 3 decimal places. But you can just write the full value so that you get the amount that you're supposed to get, the exact amount. And if you compound this quarterly, you're going to have that value there. Okay, so it's interesting. But what if they tell us, they say, okay, no, it's the number of years. Okay, we want to compound this continuously, so you don't know how many times we'll be compounding this. We want to be doing it continuously. What if they tell you that? How are you going to be compounding? So if they tell us we'll be compounding this continuously, then the formula now changes. We have our future value is equal to our present value, e to the power r t. Okay, this value, you have it on your calculator, don't worry about it. Then r is just the rate and t is just the time. So they tell us to say, let's look at an example. They tell us to say we have 5,000 as our present value. Then they tell us to say, okay, if you put this 5,000, your interest rate will be compounded continuously. The rate is still 5%, time 10 years, 5 years. Let me just put it 5 years. How much will you have after 5 years? Let's write our formula down again. We have PT is equal to P0, which is our future present value. Then let's have our formula like that. So we have 5,000. What is our rate? 0.05. What is our time? 5 years. So now we can have our answer. So 5,000, keep it coming and punch this. Or if you want to, let's keep our e and let's just punch the 0.05 times 5. You have 0.25. The next, our future value is 5,000 is equal to 5,000 e to the power 0.25. So PT is equal to 5,000. Then punch the e on your calculator. Okay, and write the 0.25, and you have your answer as 6,420.13 as an estimated value. So this is it about compounding. So just a quick recap: when they tell you to say we are compounding, they're telling you to say what is the future value of this amount, which is the 5,000, for example, if we have this rate for this number of years. So compounding is just finding the future value of a certain amount of investment. So that's what you do under compounding. So I hope this video will be very helpful, and God bless you.